All right. You guys should be able to hear me. You guys should also be able to hear my desktop audio. Let's see. Yeah, that shouldn't be... Let me know if that's too bad for you guys or too high. All right. Pop this on. I'll go high, all soundable. Nice. All okay. Good, good. I am just going to work on the lab a little bit. We are one user away from 3,500 users in our Discord, so I was like, oh man, I guess I'll hop on and we'll work on some stuff a little bit. And what I thought we might do that would be fun would be, to do a little bit of Linux, maybe work around some of these topics here that we have from the Linux Plus exam. Not that people necessarily want to get their Linux Plus. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But we could work on just showing some of the tools and working on that kind of stuff. Yeah, you should be able to see me. I moved over to the view where you guys should be able to pop up and see me. But hopefully you guys can hear me as well. I know my system can hear me. I know that my mic auxiliary's off. And then I know that everybody's over there. All right. So we've got, just a bunch of stuff over here that we could kind of look at. And then we could also just kind of mess around with the systems. We've got our drawing. We've been adding to the drawing as we go. And the drawing has been getting kind of bigger and bigger about the home lab and also some of the other things that are kind of going on in the environment. So I will leave, we'll probably figure out whatever we want to do. But I'll make you guys the deal. I haven't done this in a long time, but over on the Twitch side of things, so this will only be for people on the Twitch side, I'll create a poll. And I haven't done one of these in a while. But what do we work on tonight? Build out the lab, Linux Plus topics, networking, or what was our other one? Oh, I guess we could do security topics. All right, there we go. All right, I will give this poll, I will give it 5 minutes. And you guys can throw additional votes with your channel points if you want. I guess like 1,000. All right, there we go. All right, so there's a little poll running now that you guys can go and participate in on the Twitch side of things if you want to. Kind of decide what we're working on tonight. And I set it up to be, let's see, view results. It is build out the lab, Linux Plus topics, networking, or security. And I'll do any of those. But I figured I'd hop on, tell you guys a little bit about what we do around here. And also maybe, I don't know, mess around a little bit. The wife went to lunch, or she went to dinner with her dad. Her and one of her girlfriends, they have lunch with their dads every couple of months. So she's doing that. I could have went, but I told her I'd rather just hang out here. So this is kind of where we're at. All right. So let's get to it. I guess if we wanted to, we could start at the top, right? We can look at some of these different tools that are there for file editing. And it looks like for the actual exam, they're going to give you a scenario and you're going to have to do something with a file or a directory. Well, there's still time to vote. More people can vote if they want. You got more time. You guys can keep voting if you want. All right. Anyways, let's while we're sitting here. Whoops. I could type. Jeez, hands aren't working. We'll just have in here our own little directory with nothing in it, and we will we'll see what we end up doing. If we end up building out lab stuff, that's fine too. I've got a fair amount of stuff to do in the home lab, so it would probably be good to work in there a little bit and get stuff cleaned up. So if that's what we end up doing, that's what we end up doing. I'm okay with that as well. Let's let that thing finish. Looks like the poll has a few more minutes if you guys want to vote on it. Looks like only one person's voted so far still, so. All right. while we're waiting, check on Ranger. How's Ranger doing? Ranger is not on his bed. How's our servers doing? Servers are doing good. We can check out our logs. How are our logs doing? We were looking at the secure most recently, but we can also check out Guac and just see if there's any weird stuff going on over there. Nothing going on there. Okay. So nobody's been connecting to that. Go back to secure and do failed. That's a fine thing. See all the servers that have been trying to connect to our system lately. And then, what's another one? Security. That one's a good one too. Let that spin while you guys are voting. While you guys are deciding what we're working on today. And we'll, I'll do whatever. I mean, I got a college class I could be in right now, but I don't have any topics to teach for tonight, so there's no real reason for me to hop over there. Also, I guess I could put that ticker behind my camera so it looks a little better. There we go. That looks a little better. Yeah, so we'll just we'll hang out and we'll decide what we're working on. I'll let that vote finish up. Looks like we got 2 for build out the lab, 1 for Linux Plus topics, nobody for networking, and nobody for security. All right. Well, if we build out the lab, we'll just keep working on the stuff we've been working on. I actually have a thing I need to build out. There's a thing I need to push to all my servers, so I really could. I could do that. I mean, I guess I could make that like a priority. Hey, Enzo Bear, how's it going? Let's go. Yeah, let's go look at what's going on in my environment. 2 were for me. 1 was by accident. I'm trying to type out the extra vote. That's fine. I always tell you guys, if we tie, I get to pick. If the winner is a tie, I get to pick what we do. But if you guys vote for something, I'll go with whatever I hear. It looks like people want to build out the lab, so, or at least that's what's winning right now. So that's what we'll do. All right, looks like that won. We're gonna do building out the lab. So that's gonna look more like this, where we're going to decide what we want to do with this whole extra server we've got here. I think we'll leave it XCPNG. I don't think we're going to change that architecture any. And then we got to decide what we want to do with it. We kind of have a little bit of a drawing up. I'll pull the drawing up here for what we were planning on doing with it. And then if we want to start building that out, we absolutely can. So this is kind of what the drawing was going to look like in our overall setup here. Was what we currently have in the environment is all this, and we've got the werewolf and the rocky nodes that you guys can get into. But then over here, what I was going to do was take this extra node that has additional capacity and give a server the C router 2 designation, which would probably get the IP address 161 because 160 is C router. And then he would expose out this .220 network because we already got a 192.168.11 and a 192.168.200, which happened to be our network range. And then we would do like a 220 over here. And then hammer block is the hammer block would be the idea that we are, let's see if we change those fonts a little bit. Go back to Excalifont. And that's fine, I guess. I swear that's kind of small looking still, though. Anyways, so the hammer block range would be a place that people could come in and kind of build out their techniques. It would be a what we used to use hammer block for at Lockheed Martin was it was a location you could jump into and then you could take over any node in the environment. You could do anything you wanted to in the environment. And we would do things in there like denial of service on boxes. We would take over things that we wanted to run, or processes that we wanted to control. And it was just like a big open range network to kind of do like almost like one of those like massive what are they, MMO RPGs. It kind of felt like that. Let's see if I can move my camera down a little bit. Anyways, hold on, let me see if I can do this. Just bugging me how that thing's going, like. Hold on. I guess that's fine. I just don't like how it keeps going underneath me. Hey, Colcus, how's it going? We voted to go and build out the lab a little bit. So the point is we could start to utilize this range and figure out what kind of servers we want to put in there, what kind of environment we want. We'll probably do Werewolf in there again. We'll probably keep Werewolf at a similar type, .25 as the standard, and then we'll put the other nodes up above, kind of in the same standard, but they'll have different names and different functionality. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that. That could be the play for the day. What we kind of build out and work on. If we wanted to, oh, does anybody need access to this? If you guys want, here you can have access to work in here with me. So I already have a copy of it, right? I can always save it. Whoops. I can save it. I thought we could just save it to the file it already was. Where's it at? It's called ProLUG. Yeah, logical design. Yep. So if I save that, right, and then if I give this to you guys, and over on the Twitch side you'll have to copy it out a little bit and put it in your browser, but you guys can have access to the same environment with me while I'm working in here. And you know, barring, you know, stuff that'll get you kicked out or whatever, I don't really care what you guys put up there, but because people were putting other stuff that was interesting to them up there as well as we were kind of working on this. So oh, you know what, hold on, let me check this music that we got playing right now too. We're not on rock. I meant to put us over on rock. There we go. Classical's a little too classical for what we're doing. I don't mind classical, but it was just a little too classical. I thought rock was better. All right, better. Let's go start building stuff. So, one of the best things that we can do is we can just steal. So crouter. Oops. We don't want to shut crouter down. We want to take crouter, and we want to clone him. Right. We want to clone him with. In this case, we can take a snapshot and then just move the snapshot to another machine. So we'll take a snapshot of this server, and we'll just call it a crouter snap. Right. And we don't care about the memory of the box because he can boot, right? He's moving to another system. We're not trying to keep him in like a running memory state. But we're going to snapshot him, and then we're going to deploy him again from that template on another server. So we're going to deploy him down here. Also, while we're at it, we got to set a new network up here. He's got the typical NIC, right? But he's going to have the same network set up as this guy, where for the networking, we have, we should have one of these other networks. Yeah, lab internal. And he's on his own VLAN, so he's on his own network, just internal to the system. So we'll do the same type of thing over here to our other system. So let's come down here. Let's go to here. And it looks like I had set a stream network on here before, but we want to keep it the same type of network as we have up here. So we'll probably call it lab internal. So let's just take this stream network here and go ahead and do properties and change him to lab internal. And he could be, we're going to change his NIC to NIC 0 VLAN 1. That's fine. So lab network, Streamlab, lab internal. Can't be on that same one, so let's remove him. Yep. Where's he at? Lab internal. Properties, let's change his nick. He couldn't be on the same one as the other. Before. Nope. Yeah, automatically add him to new virtual machines. Good. Alright, so now he's nick 0. We don't need network 0 anymore. Because we also have lab network. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Code Reader 2020 said, "Can you tell me what are some responsibilities or most of your responsibilities that you take on every day for Linux?" Yeah. Let me show you part of that. This is part of that. This is kind of the sysadmin side of things. This comes from our syllabus on this, and I would say that this is the generic day-to-day, like, keep the lights on stuff that Linux sysadmins do, which is you need to understand your tools. You need to understand storage and operating systems and security and networking. You need to heavily know your networking. Then you got to be able to script, and you should be able to support Docker and Kubernetes and build out monitoring. And then there's some basic engineering, like we eventually get into systems engineering as we go on our careers, but to start out, you don't necessarily have to know all the benchmarking and testing, but you got to learn that. Then we got to harden systems, which is part of security. We got to do some troubleshooting. A lot of troubleshooting as engineers and admins. And then we got to do a lot of incident response too, which is part of troubleshooting. So I would say that's the main thing that we normally do. And then I have some stuff here, which here's some job skills examples. So we have this documentation where, people had done. There's actual job board requirements where we went through and people were asking for these skills, and then we wrote up the kind of things that we thought that we needed. So what do we do with, if we're a Linux admin or a Linux engineer, we do a lot of getting our systems up and operational, and then we do a lot of kind of design of systems and figuring out how to build systems better. I tell you guys sometimes a big part of my career is building and securing Linux servers for people. That's a big part of what I do. In fact, I have some stuff to do before the end of this week where I have to redo some STIG work that I did for one of our customers. They need the STIGs to be done in a different way. That's the technical implementation guidelines, right? The secure ones. So, all right. So we've copied this. Hold on. This thing should be done copying down. He should be a snapshot now. And we should be able to, I believe, come down here. Let's see if we'll be able to do it. We'll say a new VM. And let's see if we can get that from a snapshot in our environment. So the snapshot that we would have, maybe it doesn't share snapshots across. Snapshot. It may still be taking that snapshot. Let's go look. Saving properties of lab internal. Updates, alerts. I'm not really worried about all this because it eventually did connect this stuff. We know that this is going to happen every time the power goes down in the lab, so that's fine. Did we saving properties of that? Huh. We're getting some weird errors. Taking a snapshot of C router. That's done. All right. So why don't I see? Hold on. It's an object, and it is a snapshot, and it's called C router snap. Can I just create a new VM from this snapshot? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. And then we'll go from there, and we'll say he's going to be called C router 2, because that's what our diagram says, right? And then we don't need any DVD. We do have, so these are all of our NFS ISO library that we're sharing out from one of our systems in the environment. We don't need any of that because we already know that he is what we want. His home server is, we're going to change him. Nope. The virtual machine will always be started on that server. So we need to, so here's the thing. Apparently, because of the fact that he's only on that node, that's the only one he's going to be able to start on. So let's see if we can instead, we may have to export him and re-import him on the other box. So let's see if we can do that. And that's fine. We'll call him C router 2. We'll just call him C router snap. Let's just pull him down. Let's just see what happens when we pull him down. I've never done this part before. Oh, yeah, you need to stick by the book all the time, Linux developer. Like when if I were to pull up, one, everybody would complain about how bright it was, so I can't really pull up the Stig viewer. It gets too bright. It would be just white on the whole screen. But two, yeah, there's 462 Stigs for Red Hat 9 right now, and you have to answer all of them. And you could use a tool to get most of it, right? You can get most of it with a tool, but then you have to go by hand and do the other stuff. And I actually have some stuff I have to fix on mine because there's a bit of a not a controversy, but there's a difference of opinion on how you stick with the book. There's a difference of opinion from different security, what we call ISSOs, your Information System Security Officer. They differ on how they like to see not applicable versus not a finding. And you say, well, what's the difference? And I'll tell you this. If it says for a RHEL 9 box, for a RHEL 9 server, you must have the Red Hat keys. And then you say, okay, well, that is not applicable to this system because it's actually a Rocky 9.4 system, so we couldn't have the RHEL keys. That's true. You can't have the RHEL keys for a Rocky 9 system, so you don't need them. Therefore, that check will always fail. Therefore, it's not applicable. That's how some people want to see it, because it doesn't make any sense. It would be like if you were working on a router that didn't do a Cisco proprietary protocol, and it's like, well, if you don't have EI grip, this is an open ticket, and you're like, but that doesn't make any sense because I can't do that protocol. I can't run that type of frame tagging. We have to do 802.1q. That's the only type of frame tagging we can do on. That's a switch layer, right? So where I'm going with that is, you get into these STIGs, and then some things are like minorly different. And for me, that's not applicable. And for like half of information system security officers, that's not applicable. Hold on. For the other half, the ones that I've run into in this instance, there's a different rule that's like this is like the letter of the law. If the do you guys want me to pull it up? It's going to be bright, but if you guys want me to pull it up, I'll pull it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But there's another thing called not a finding. And what they say is, well, it can't be not a finding unless it said, or it has to be not applicable only if it says not applicable in the text documentation. Okay? So, yeah, let me pull it up real quick for you guys. So it looks like this. Downloads. Hold on. Stig viewer is going to be a little bright, so you guys got to deal with it a little bit. You know, I thought they had a dark mode version of it, but I don't think it works right. I think if we flip it to dark mode, it'll look like it won't work. So hold on, I'll pull this up. So this is our Stig viewer, right? Let's see. We'll see if it's got a dark mode. Let's see. Yeah, if you go to dark theme, I mean, is that any good? All right. Doesn't that look like shit? I mean, it's dark mode for like, I don't know, but I'm gonna change that to the thumbnail for this video. Hold on, hold on, because I can set the thumbnail for this. I'm gonna make that the thumbnail, even though that's not really the topic we're on. That shit's funny. Hold on, let me copy that. I'm gonna make that the. Let me see if I. Well, actually, hold on. I might have to save it. Let's see. Download, dark mode, capture. If I could spell. There we go. All right. I think that's funny. I'm gonna make that the fucking. Oh, and then people are gonna be like, "What was this guy working on?" I'll be like, "You don't even want to know." Maybe I can't do it right now. I might not be able to do it. Oh, hold on. Let me change this. to this one. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right. That's going to be our thumbnail. So if people look this up, they're going to be like, what the hell was he doing? This is what I wanted to show you guys, though. There's kind of this idea here where if you wanted to right-click and make this, you can't... Well, I got to make a checklist from it. Hold on. So create a checklist from this. So I'd have this new checklist, right? And then let's say that I wanted to make this one. I wanted to mark this one for whatever reason. Verify that RHEL 9 is configured to boot the command line. And it's systemctl get default, and it can't be, or it can be multi-user target. But if it's anything else, then you have to have documentation for why it's like that. Well, if I wanted to mark this as not applicable, I would have to have right here in these rules something that allows it to be marked not applicable. Meaning, let's see if we can find one. We'll see if we can find one. Fix it. So there's a bunch of fixed text, right? That's how you go fix it. But sometimes you'll find one where, nope, see, these are all either findings or not a finding. And then, yep, those are all that. I'm just randomly trying to find one. Where when I want one, I can't find it, right? Hold on, let's see. Fixed text. There are certain situations where things would not be applicable. Nope, those are all fixed. So you guys see how, like I was saying, that depending on what people want as information system security officers for their environments, there are things that can or can't be said. Let's see if I can find one here. This, by the way, this is not a live one. I'm not showing you guys a real one from a company or anything. I'm showing you guys a generic one that any of you can go download off the internet, in case anybody was wondering. Hold on real quick. It's, let's see. I don't see any not applicables. And again, it's got to be spelled out in the text here. If it doesn't have it, you can't use it. You can't use not applicable. Nope. Let's try one filter. All right. So some of these found. Okay. This requirement uses RHEL 9 graphical user interface to the GNOME desktop. If the system does not have a graphical user interface installed, this requirement is not applicable. Meaning, if I've taken off GNOME and KDE and any of the desktops that I could have with Rocky, then I can right-click on this and say that is not applicable. However, if I came in here and I looked at it and it just didn't have one, so I said, well, it's not there, this doesn't make any sense, I can't make that call of not applicable. I have to instead say, well, it's not a finding because it's not there. Does that make sense? So not a finding doesn't count against you, and that's fine. It's just not applicable is only allowed, and this is by the letter of the law, if you have it in there. Some information system security officers will let you get away with it. But it's one of these things where, yeah, this is terrible. Kevin over on YouTube mentioned, yeah, it looks like they got high contrast mode. This is terrible. I didn't want to show you guys this like this. This is like the worst dark mode ever created. Oh, does Stig 3.4? So I'm used to 2.7, so I've stayed on 2.7, but I'll probably make the switch this year to 3. And Kolkus, this will be part of when we do the hardening Linux, this will be part of it. This and also some of the CIS benchmark tool stuff. The workshop, OpenSCAP and the SCAP workbench, we'll be using that for sure in the hardening. All right, so I've downloaded that now, I think, to my home device. So this is just chilling on my home device here. Hold on, let's make sure. Date modified. We don't need Stig Viewer anymore. All right, so we got our C router snap. So we're going to come up to our box again, our server that's going to be used for all this, and I'm going to import from a file that C router snap XVA. Boom. And we're going to import them to this one. And good. And we'll put them on lab storage because we got plenty of lab storage in there. And we'll bring the C router over here. So we're cheating this a little bit. Not cheating. We're saving ourselves the rebuild of a whole router. Okay. Interface 0. We're going to change this a little bit. This can be network 0, and this can be lab internal. Let me think. Yeah, network 0. Let's go look real quick. Network 0. Yeah, that's the no interface. And then lab network we'll probably get rid of because that was just me messing around before. And let's go ahead and import that now. And we'll bring that system into this. And then we can connect everything up and build the lab. By the way, for people who got here a little late, we voted over on the Twitch side of things. Well, the people voted. And we are doing lab build-out stuff. So, Linux developer, if you sent a link, I can't see it. It says, should I go with **** over Docker's image library? So I don't know what that is, but I guess it depends. Like, if you're saying like in a home lab or just in like a dev environment, I'd say do whichever one is expedient to you, whichever one works. If you're in a production environment, I wouldn't use any of that stuff. I would pull the stuff down, validate it, and then I would push it up to an internal repo. And my dev boxes and stuff, those can do whatever. But my prod servers, they will only deploy things out of my live repo and only through a CI/CD pipe process type thing, right? Like my servers that come up and then run whatever and go pull whatever containers or other stuff like that cannot do it from the outside world. We don't allow them to. So hopefully that answers the question. But Postgres, I don't know if you have a different question about Postgres. Let me go look. I don't know how long ago you asked it, but I don't see one from Postgres. But yeah, that check off. Oh, you put in the okay. Hold on. What is this? Oh yeah, I mean you could absolutely use other people's. But what I would advise is this though. Like this is what I would advise as a. Oh, see, I'm not. Oh yeah, I'm not on their thing. But whatever you take, right? Like if this is what you pull right here, this cgr.dev chainguard Postgres, I would run it. I would do whatever testing I like to do, however I validate that a Postgres database is going to do the things I want it to do. However I do that, I would do that down in my dev environment. I would run that system. I would monitor it. I would make sure it's not making connections out and doing whatever other kind of things that could potentially happen. And then, as you can do with containers, as it is your, let's say, your prerogative to do with a container, once you've tested it and done what you like, you can save that. Right, you can save that into your own repo and say, now this is my, and by the way, you can't do it from a running one. There's probably tools that'll do it, but I'm talking more like you take the container image you have, then maybe you apply some other things to it. Maybe you run it through your Trivy scanner and those kind of things, and you call it good, and then you save it up to your own repo, and you go, thanks guys for making that Postgres image for me. I have now taken it and I'm going to use my own. If that kind of makes sense, like. It's just the way that we secure things, like in production, if that kind of makes sense. I would not run it directly off of anybody. I would never run anything in production directly pulling anything from anybody's site ever. It would always be my own system that I've now tested, and then I've pushed through my own pipeline. So, yeah, Kevin, there's many criteria for what you pull down to your repo. Yeah, and then. Even if it's a let's say you have something that is just a 0 day and you guys have to get it into your production systems, I would still be pushing back as much as I could to at least test it against our code base and at least test it against, can we at least fire up our applications on it and stuff, because especially if I'm patching a kernel or something and going to a new version, I am 100% going to have to take that box down and bring it back up. And if our applications don't start, now we're dead in the water in prod. And being dead in the water in prod is as bad as if the thing had just been compromised and taken down in the first place. Well, arguably not, because I mean maybe it's a different type of compromise. Like Log4j was taking over boxes and stuff, but I guess it depends, whatever your thing is. All right. Hold on. This thing should be coming in there. We should be seeing that showing up here. We should see it. I hope I put it to the right one. Let's go check to make sure I didn't put in one of the other ones like a dummy. No, I should have. Should have definitely uploaded it to here. But let's go make sure that it's not just some snap. So it's C router, and then I called it C router 2. Would have thought it would have been a template. Not a custom template. Or just disks in my environment. This is not the way I would normally look at these. C router. There's C router. Huh. Alright. Well, I don't know where that thing went. Well, let's see if we can make a new virtual network off him. Or VM from him. I do not see C router. Well, I mean, I guess I gotta just hope that something's still going on. Oh, there was a problem. I don't want to dismiss it. I want to read it. File could not be imported. Well, that's not great. Let's import that file. Put them down there. Put them down there. Should have plenty of lab storage. We might have to reclaim some of that storage too, because that doesn't happen. Lab internal. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And well, crap. All right, well, we might still be able to do this, where we I don't really do this functionality very much, so I don't know. I wonder if we'll be able to, once we make that, if we'll be able to deploy across. I'm going to dismiss these other messages real quick. Okay, so we got that. Should be right in here, template C router snap. And let's see if we can do a new VM wizard from him. We're going to call it C router 2. C router 2, just like that. That's fine. We want to place it. No, we want to move it to the other node. So, cancel. Can we copy within the same pool to one of our other nodes? We want to send it to this guy. Oh, he's older than current. Oh gosh, that's probably what it is. Hold on, guys. Probably just haven't updated these things in a while. All right, well, I guess I got to do some update work on these then. I should just be able to come into my objects here and update them if I want to. So this one needs to update, and he doesn't have anything going in on it, so we could actually set him in maintenance mode, and then we should be able to, once he's in maintenance mode, we should be able to do maintenance on him. So, because he's not doing anything anyways, so he's just kind of hanging out down there. Yeah, how's it going, Boris? We're not working too hard right now. We're just kind of hanging out. I forget where we update these. He should still be in maintenance mode. Live patching's enabled. But I still think we have to tell this thing to update. Let's see if we have an option in here. I don't see any. Let's go to infrastructure, I guess, then. And see if we can. No, there's nothing here for us to. I see nothing for our updating. I wouldn't expect it in most of these, but no, shouldn't be in any of these. Shouldn't be here. Oh, I've never even seen this config before. All right. Now I know how I can go update it down on the actual server. We can go log into the actual server. I just don't want to do anything outside of my normal control of the system. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We might be able to do it up here. Server. Nope. Already went through all that. I see nothing. Nope, I see nothing out of there. Alright, well, I mean, I've definitely done maintenance on these before. I just don't know where. I don't know where we did it from. Because I don't see anywhere in here for us to update these. Might have to go look that up. Ah, here's some updates. But that's my system here, my XCP-NG center. I don't necessarily want that. I want access to the. I don't need any of that stuff. Don't need any of that. Yeah, I don't know where that is. I don't know where I did that before. I would have thought maybe it was up in objects. And then maybe I can select a server. Oh. I got nothing. It's just stuff that we've done to the systems. I'm used to looking at it in the infrastructure view. Yeah, I don't know. I have to figure that out. We did those. Did health check. I wonder if there's a way to force the updates. That might be what we ended up having to do. Okay. Well, at least that's what the problem was it's on an older version, so it wasn't going to accept it. So, I mean, at least we found that, right? We found it when we were kind of messing around or whatever. Hey, do we have anybody new join the server? Because if we did, we might be at... Nope, nobody yet. We're very close to 30... We're one person away from 3,500 people. So that's pretty good. Little mini goal for everybody down there in the Discord. Mini goal to get more people in there. We've got a little bot that tells us things. And it also will, you can ask it questions. So what's a question here that we could ask? How is Unix different than Linux? And it'll tell us. Huh? Unix is the real deal. Oh, it responds as though it was an old crusty Unix admin too. So Fisherman was the guy who runs that and supports that in our environment. If you want a real operating system that can handle serious workloads, stick with Unix. I like it. Yeah, I don't work as much on Unix systems as I used to 10 years ago, but I still have a few that I work with. So Linux and Unix are not interchangeable. So don't think that they are. They are different systems, but 85-90% of the work is exactly the same. You still got to know how to move around. So I said 85% or 90%. I didn't say that explicitly. I just didn't realize that thing was going to try to make the number 8590 like that. So, all right. So, what are we doing then? I could keep working on trying to update those. We could jump over into them. So, what was the IP of that box? Let's go see. He's in maintenance mode, but he's still got an IP. What's his IP? 198. We'll take him out of maintenance mode for now. That's interesting. It's outside of our network. We'll be okay with that for now. Interesting that that's based on CentOS. I didn't know that about a Zen server. Interesting. All right, we're not going to change any of that, but that's where this is where the updates for the repo would be. So if we did want to update this, let's see what this server wants to update. And Let's see what it wants to update specifically on the XCPNG repo. Veer over on YouTube. You're not too late. We're just kind of hanging out. We're working on the home lab, and we're looking at maybe updating some stuff. Oh yeah, that's a lot of broken mirrors, broken old mirrors for CentOS 7.9. Oh, I gotta update all my systems. I expected those ones to be offline, but I'm curious if the XCPNG will be updated. Let's see. I mean, technically, I could move this one over to Prox if you guys... I've never built out Proxmox before, but since this one's not doing anything, we could see how Proxmox works for us in the environment. I'm curious. I haven't used Proxmox before, so that's gonna take. Let's go look at that. What does that tool look like? Over. There's the ISO installer. Can I just read the guide without... I just want to read it without downloading it. I want to read. I just... Can I see it for a second? Okay. Like that, because I can use iSCSI, although I don't have any of that in my home lab, but I do need to get some. I like this song. I'm going to put that on my like track. With a thumbs up for Icarus. That was a fun song. Let's go to... Oh, I used to play this one all the time. Hold on. The Chill. Alright, alright. Where are we at here? Oh, Ranger check. Hold on. You guys want a Ranger check? Let's see here. Ranger is over there. Oh, his bed should be getting here soon. I just saw that it cleared customs in California. Which, isn't that kind of weird? I don't know if anybody here's ordered anything lately. Any of you guys done this where you order something and... I mean, I don't care necessarily where it comes from. I mean, I guess I try to buy American if I can. But I know a lot of stuff was being made in China, and that's fine. But, like, have any of you guys noticed in, like, the last, like, couple months, this is probably only the last few months, they've made it a point to show you, like, every single hop, even if it's, like, over in China still. And I'm like, I don't even know where these places are. I mean, China's a big place, guys, if you don't know. And I'll be honest, I don't know any of the ports there. I don't know... I mean, I've heard of Beijing. That's about it. You know, like, I don't know China at all. But they're, like, making it a point to show me each and every hop, and they've been doing that for, like, the last few months. And I'm just like, I didn't think that was a thing. Like, not that we're trying to hide it. We know it's coming from China. I'm surprised that it's so, like it's like they're trying to make it. Yeah. I actually ordered a thing for my son last year, and it was on a thing. What's that tool? Not Love Pop. Love Pop's the little cards. My wife loves those. No. It's Funko Pop. Funko Pop? Is that right? No. I don't want to besmirch somebody's name, but anyways, I ordered like this little. It was like a little plushie thing, like Five Nights at Freddy's. This was like a year and a half ago, and I remember that thing took like 4 or 5 months to get here, and it was on a container ship for like 3 of those months, and I was like, I also thought that was kind of weird that they were showing it like that. So, anyways, yeah, there's Ranger. His bed should be coming here soon, and then it should be back there. So we'll push all these beds back, and then he'll have his bed against the wall over there. So he'll be good. Yeah, I got a son. I got a son who is 17. I'll be 17 soon, anyways. Yeah. All right. So, what are we doing? Oh, Proxmox. Back to Proxmox. Hold on. Installing. We'll have all that. We'll have well over that. Local storage, we can use ZFS, Ceph. Neither of those are compatible with a hardware RAID controller, which I do have a hardware RAID controller in those. So I won't be doing those. I'm not too worried about the install part. Stand it up. Get the system stood up. Probably just get a username and a password on it. Yep, that's probably the main thing. Username and password, IP address, and then get it on the network, and then I should be able to jump in remote, I think. I have to imagine. I won't be using ZFS though, and I'll be RAID 5 under the hood on my systems. So then get in there. I've seen some people's Proxmox front end. Right, I've seen some of this here, mostly in dark mode. And then looks like I can add some stuff and then start downloading. If I can do NFS, oh, it's not going to be good. NFS. So if I can do NFS ISO shares, I can share right off of my other node, which will be good. Let's go see. Do backup and restore off of it too. I'm fine with all those. I don't want it as the actual backend though. I won't be doing that. Huh. Yeah, we shan't be doing that. Who knows what that's from? We shan't be telling mother, shan't we? Hold on. NFS again, that's fine. CFS, I don't want that. Won't be using Ceph. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Alright, no, that's not what I wanted. I won't be container, I'll just be ISO mounting. Yeah. You can mount, yeah, okay, alright. So I just want to make sure that my NFS ISO that I'll be able to mount from it. Because I have ISOs that then I could spin up in the environment and build a machine from. Or I could probably just download, anymore nowadays, I could probably just download a machine. And then harden it. I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, Kolkus, it's always good to just know, like in my lab, I have very specific things that are already there, and I'm just wondering what things I can leverage to make it easier, right? Because here's the thing: if I stand this up and Proxmox does well, I always call this. Have any of you guys ever heard this? I haven't used this term on stream, I think, in years. Have you guys ever heard me talk about the free cell problem? So everybody here know, like, this is an engineering thing that I deal with. I call it the free cell problem. And the free cell problem is, has anybody here ever played the game Free Cell? Right? What's the game Free Cell? It's a solitaire game, but you got these 4 free cells. And then you got the 4 spaces for aces. And then does everybody here know what the problem with free cell is? You want to move 4 cards, but you only have the space to move 3. Have you guys ever seen that before? So in engineering, when I have to move storage, and I have, like, let's say I have 2 storage and then I have another one, and I want to clear out these storage and maybe rebuild them, I have to have enough space over here to move all of that over here to clean this out and then move it back. So I always call it the free cell problem. That's just a term that I've never heard anybody else call it that. That's just what I think of when I think of like storage, when I do like big storage, and I'm gonna like I have to like migrate everything over here, clean up and maybe rebuild something or add some disks to something and then move it back and rebalance it. I always call that the free cell problem. When you have so much space that you don't have any one place you can put it to clean up some other spot, or you know, to run off of one while you move, or to run off of 3 of them while the other one is the one that's being, you know, we're moving to. So anyways, my point is this node here is pretty much the only, I mean, I could take this and I could clean it all up and then I could move the parts of the environment that I wanted to. So like I want to rebuild P01 Jump 1, build it down there. I can rebuild, I can move host box down there, but this one has the most storage by far. But then what I would do is I would start building it, and then as soon as I cleared up enough space in here, I would put this to Proxmox, and then that's how I would slowly move all of my cluster over to Proxmox. And I mean, if I'm going that route, I don't know that I'm going that route yet, but it's a thing that we could do in the lab. And for me, I always go look at what's going on inside of the system, what technologies are being used and stuff. All right. It'll be interesting. All right. I'm going to back this. I'm going to back out of that. Back out of that. We'll think about if we're going to go. I'm going to think about that a little bit. If we're going to go that route. Or if we just leave it, the node as we have it, and then rebuild. Because all we have to do from here is just build the systems down that we need. I can even build. It's kind of weird that this won't just move down there. Yeah, it's super weird that this just won't copy over to that node. Yeah, I'll figure that out. But all right. Also goes well with Prometheus. Nice. Yeah, I haven't looked into any of that, so I'll have to see what's going on with all that stuff. So that's interesting though. What's the Ranger doing? Still off camera. He's moved it. He moves his bed around as he walks around during the day. But we'll take this and we'll say, you know, we'll take that can be lighter color. Can we let's see. Can we make him like that, like Proxmox? Is he going to be Proxmox? We don't know. We don't know what we're doing in the lab here yet. He may get rebuilt as Proxmox, and that would be more for fun than anything, right? Like just I don't necessarily need. Yeah, but did you see the Ceph thing? I can't use Ceph or ZFS because I have underlying hardware RAID controllers. So these boxes have hardware RAIDs in them, and I want to say that one has like, I don't know, multiple disks, and then it's all hardware RAID up in a RAID 5. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. That's how I'm spinning that up, anyways. So Hey, Daniel DeLuca. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. Yep, that's why you had to flash yours. Yeah, I probably will leave. I'll probably leave off the going the Ceph for the ZFS because I'm okay with other file systems anyways. Um, you had to go through and mark each disk as a non-RAID device. Interesting. Yeah, I would like to see it just boot up and just hand it the disk cluster like I do with XCPNG. I can just hand the disk cluster as one device and it never even thinks about it. But I guess that would be a little bit different. Yeah, I guess that's something for us to think about. Maybe before I do anything, that'll be something we talk about this Saturday in the Linux group. Maybe what we're gonna do with that, what we're gonna do with the environment, and what we're gonna do with the hammer block range, and I'll explain to you guys the rules. Probably as we get into where's that thing at? That's the other notes that you guys have. That's the other notes. Yeah, this was the new course thing, but we're gonna do build securing network user access bash. I'm gonna say, do we run hammer block event in this environment? So I've got a couple of guys that can help judge the hammer block because they've been through the process before from Lockheed Martin. Actually, some of you guys have met Robbie Reed before, who's came and talked to you guys. And then if we can get his brother Ryan to come, they would both be good. But we can all talk to what the hammer block event is and how that works. But I would like them to be there to judge it as well because they're actually pretty good. They're pretty good at that stuff, and I think they could show you guys some cool stuff around kind of what we did in ours. They could tell you some stories about stuff that we did in ours. They also tell you stories about how the red team got. So we won the first year, but it was only because the red team got the red team for all of Lockheed Martin. They got kicked out of it because they flew a guy down. They wanted to win so bad they flew a guy down, and he went into the data center. He had access because he was our red team, and he actually went to that server rack, which wasn't what he was working on. He dropped a little physical device in it to take it over so he could get the answers to things. So the red team got kicked out of the first round, and we won. That was our enterprise red team. And then the second round they beat us. It was pretty close. And so we we ended up third because somebody got a whole bunch of points right at the end, which was kind of real weird. Kind of felt like that. You guys ever seen the Harry Potter movies where it's like, oh yeah, they did really good and they beat everybody, but no, we're just gonna give these arbitrary points and give Gryffindor the win or whatever, and you're like, what the hell was that? Like, we beat you fair and square, but they just give you like arbitrary points or whatever. And that's like, that wasn't part of the game. I didn't watch football this last weekend, but I hear that's what happened in the football games. I should probably check with my brothers. Everybody in my family watches football. I haven't been watching it lately, so I haven't seen what was going on. So I know the controversy, but I haven't been paying attention to it much. So, do we run hammer block in the environment, and then this would be securing. If we did that, this would be securing and compromising. And I kind of want to, like, I try to emphasize with you guys, like, everybody wants to sit around and be hacker man, but nobody wants to learn the basics. So if we do that with securing and compromising Linux, it's gonna be, if we do like red team stuff, and for people that haven't been around, I've run a red team technically for a really big insurance company, and it'll be like, I will strive to make red team for you guys as real as possible, and by doing that, I can guarantee you people will not like red teaming. It's not as much as people think they do anyway. Everybody thinks they want to be a hacker man, But then when they see how much documentation goes in the front and planning, and then the little bit of scanning and testing you get to do, and then all the documentation and you know, and all the things you're tying one hand behind your back, and then you're like, well, we'll also tie the other hand behind our back, and now we got both our hands behind our back, and we're just like headbutting the servers because we don't have any other, like, we're not allowed to really do anything. You'll find it's not nearly as cool as everybody thinks. It's fun, sure, but it's like, I don't think it's as cool as everybody thinks it is. It's still work. If it wasn't just work, it would still be. And everybody thinks they want to be a red teamer, but then it's like, then you go do it, and you're like, it's okay. I mean, I guess, like, but it's not the only thing out there, guys. There's also just doing this stuff where we just crawl around and nobody knows what we do in the servers, and we just keep everything secure, you know. Potential spam call at 7 at night. Nope. Not answering. All right. So guys, this is what we're doing. This course, I don't know exactly when I'm going to start this course, but I'm going to tell you guys this course will probably start before the other one. So the one that we're going to rerun is starting in March. So we got some events this weekend like normal. We're going to make this a stage channel again, and the stage channel will be conferences and guest speakers. Is that what we're? Yeah. And then this one will be Linux system admin course, right? Linux sysadmin course. And this one starts again in March on the 21st. And it's going to repeat every, wait a minute. Did I say 21st? Should be the 22nd. I think I said the 21st the other day, but it looks like it's March the 22nd is the Saturday. It repeats every week on a Saturday, and it will be 16-week Linux sysadmin course round 2. So we already did round 1. Some of you guys stuck with it, some of you didn't. If you guys want to come back through and get another chance at the second round of certs, there will be certs again. People like certifications. I mean, but if you want another shot at them, that's what we're gonna do. So that's coming up. If you guys have never seen where the Discord events are, you just go to the top left. If you're on a phone, it's on the top right. I only know that because I'm on my phone quite a bit for Discord as well. So, right, server's not going to run itself, guys. Did we get somebody? If we got somebody, no, we didn't get anybody. All right, well, nothing we can do. Robodon, will you tell people about the Discord? Maybe they'll want to join, and maybe they'll be our 3,500th. Yeah. Yeah, you know. 3500. That many. Yeah, do we run hammer block? So if we ran hammer block, it would be like we would have all the normal units over here, like I said, and then we would have like basically all the other ones that are, so all the other parts of these things, which are the we'll probably use a MITRE ATT&CK framework because that's a good framework for understanding what you're doing to try to compromise the system. Gathering information. Like some of you guys have probably never thought, but like you could just go to a job board and look at what like they're hiring for. So, you know, some company that you know locally and you want to gather information on them, and they are all just looking for Azure and Microsoft developers. Well, you can start to surmise some of the things they're using in their system, right? You can start to, by what they're asking for, you can start to figure out what their web platform's probably built on. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Whole bunch of things that you can do that are just OSINT, like the open source intelligence about things, right? Oh yeah, look, people are still out there. People have found the system. All right, what else? Best practices, we'll do key stuff so you guys can practice building keys out. Securing and compromising Linux. If we're going to do that, it's going to have to be more. Have to be another big one. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, we can do that. Let's check on Ranger again. All right, still over there. All right. Well, I don't really have. I mean, we were gonna do some of this stuff today over here, but we'll probably give it maybe later on in this week. Maybe we'll work on it some on Saturday and Sunday. But like the Linux Plus type topics, and then we'll go. Did we get it, Robodom? We were one away. Did we get it? Nice. Did the bot actually? Did he have a bot set up? Nice. Nice. Good job, Fisherman. If you're around. Normally, I don't tell Fisherman he's done anything well, but today we'll say good. I wonder if he's got any other milestones set up. That's really awesome. We'll have to do something for CDN Dave. We'll figure something out. We'll do something nice, maybe like a humble bundle or something. Those are always fun. There's a good Linux one up right now. I think people were liking that Linux one, so maybe we'll do something with that for them. All right, so I will probably get off of here. It's I'm getting tired, and got to grade some papers and hang out a little bit. The wife should be coming home soon, so we'll work through some of this stuff, and we'll do some more. I got some lab. Oh, I've got. So some of you guys have been around. I have these two books, right? These are old books, right? These are old books. One is Linux Server Hacks, and one of them is Hacking Linux Exposed. Names aside, because the names are kind of silly. These are both really good books on, but they're old, like from the early 2000s. Like what? Hold on, let me tell you when they're from. Actually, this is an O'Reilly book from 2003. And this is an O'Reilly book. No, this is not an O'Reilly book. This is a, hold on, McGraw-Hill book from 2003 as well. So both of these are like older Linux books. And I have notes in here for things that I want to pull out and put into some of the labs to show you guys. Because I tell you guys all the time, like the base tools haven't fundamentally changed in Linux. We've added stuff, we've added services, and yeah, if you talked to me 20 years ago, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about with Docker or Kubernetes because they weren't around yet, right? But the base tools that do the low level stuff have not fundamentally changed. In fact, every tool up there, literally every tool on the screen, except maybe gzip, because gzip is the newer version. Every single tool up here is over 20 years old, at least. Some of these are like 40 years old. For sure, this one is. LS and PWD, those commands are over 40 years old. They're older than me. Copy and move, yeah, all these. But that being said, there's a lot of stuff from those books that I think would be good to show you guys in labs and stuff. So some of those might get worked into the labs as more things to kind of look at and check out what's happening between systems and stuff. So. All right, other than that, I don't really have anything else for you guys. So here's what we're going to do. We'll go find somebody to raid. Go back to studio mode. Go to our little end of stream. Drop up our end of stream. If you guys have any last things you want to tell me, or if you guys want to join the Discord, you're welcome to. But let's go see if we can't find somebody on the Twitch side to raid. Maybe somebody else is out there doing something fun that you guys would enjoy. We don't want events. We want people we're following. Oh! Let's go to, we got a techie guy. Oh, no, we're going to Midnight Simon. We'll go hit Midnight Simon. We haven't talked to him in a while. So, Midnight Simon, and our raid message, as always, is the do all the Linux. So I appreciate you guys coming by. You guys over on YouTube, you guys are always welcome to hang out as well. And Discord is the best place to kind of hang out and talk shop with other people who are doing the same stuff. So thanks for coming by. I will see you guys later. Take care.